65, plays 126. Scholl tries to sneak out of the middle for Carlton. Goes with a long left footer up towards Kernahan. Back over the top. Here's Wanganeen. Off to Grenville. Too easy now for the Bombers. This well-oiled machine has produced a magnificent final series. And after 4 games, they're still running. Calthorpe gets the hand pass away. O'Donnell caught one high, and he's going to take it. Almost down to centre-half forward.
Yes, and perhaps Watson coming back onto the ground for his, maybe the last time we see him playing football.
Here's O'Donnell. Up to full forward.
That's got to be a mark, doesn't it?
Well, the umpire, I think, is going to say, I'll have it.
Well, he put himself in front beautifully, Salmon, and in a passage of 3 players.
Must have been a couple get their hands on it together simultaneously.
Well, he's the man in front.
Man in front, I think you're right, Robert.
Looked like a mark, but it's not been paid. We've got a bounce instead. Salmon with the one hand. Oh, it was very, very close. Watson's in trouble. He's ripped off the ball. O'Donnell has a snap. There's going to be a free kick
against Tim for throwing the ball. Incorrect disposal. But what a way to finish a career if, in fact, he doesn't go on next year.
Well, he is part of what has been a wonderful year for the Bombers. They won the Foster's Cup. Wanganeen won the Michael Tuck medal in that game. They finished on top of the ladder after the home and away. Tim Watson's been the father of the year. They've got the All-Australian coach in Kevin Sheedy. They've got the Brownlow medalist in Gavin Wanganeen. All they want now is the flag and the Norm Smith medalist. They've got one of them. As Silvani marks, the question is, who will be the Norm Smith medalist? Don't want to put any pressure on my co-commentator Ian Robertson, but he is one of the selectors. Silvani from 40 metres. That tells the story of the day for the Blues. His first score of the day, he spent most of the time at the other end of the ground. 1 point only. As Fletcher marks in the back pocket.
His kick goes out towards the half-back area, but the mark has been taken out there by Hogg. He transfers play back near the centre where Hannah takes the mark and kicks it back to within goal-scoring distance for the Blues. Williams is caught, somehow got some space and kicked it behind. Well, Greg Williams has copped some shy-acking from the Essendon fans this afternoon, but he's tried very hard. I think he's lowered his colours to just superior pace all over the ground for Essendon. Kicked by Grenvold, awkward, looked for long. Aythorne 1 against 3, and that's been the story of the day. The Bombers have had players backing everyone up all over the ground. Somerville, short kick, and O'Donnell gets another possession. That's his 26th. The handball over the top to Thompson. 15.5 minutes left. Thompson's kick falls in short, the mark taken by Sexton.
Sadly for the Blues, I would say, Robbo, this would be a one-off chance at their grand final. With so many players on the wrong side of 28, it's difficult to imagine them perhaps being the premiers next year.
O'Donnell again. What a game. To half forward. The sun affecting a couple of players on that occasion. Welsh takes the mark. Off to Sexton on half-back. Drifting it over the middle. It's a high floating kick. Williams had to beat a couple. Look at Long. Oh, that is just magic. Pure magic from Michael Long. To the 50-metre line. Fisted clear towards Scholl. Through he charges, but he needs help. He eventually gets it, but it's wide towards Ratton. A short little chip finds Alvin. Tom Alvin kicks towards centre wing. Madden is there. Couldn't take it in opposition to Somerville. McKay still going strong. He's on 50 metres. Kicks in towards the forward zone. Over Gleeson's head it goes, and it wobbles its way over the boundary line in Carlton's left forward pocket.
They've only kicked 2 points so far in this last quarter, the Blues, and the Bombers have added 3 goals, 1. Boundary thrown in the left forward pocket for Carlton. The Essendon cheers coming now. They can sense that their team is going to be premiers for 1993. Bradley will kick a belated goal across his body. Well done, Craig Bradley. Bradley's first goal for the day is Carlton's 11th. And it really doesn't matter much because you only have to win the grand final by a point.
It's going to be a fair bit bigger margin than that. You see Mark Harvey coming onto the ground once again, a player that was under a cloud for most of the finals month. Played in the qualifying game, but then hurt his foot and struggled ever since, but played well today.
11-7 Carlton. Essendon at 19-12. We're back in the middle once more. Long. Caught this time. And ridden into the ground by Athorn. Ball spills free to Shaw. In trouble, shrugs the tackle. Kicks it high over the middle. Kernahan on the chest. He's got Silvani one out down in the forward line. He's got to get it down there as quickly as he can. It's a floating kick and it goes the wrong way. And Wallace is quite happy to see it over the line for one behind.
Well, to the winner go all the accolades. And what about the performance of Kevin Sheedy this year? It's been absolutely magnificent. He's coached the Bombers since 1981 after an illustrious playing career with Richmond. He's coached them to 2-day flags. It'll be now 3. And also 5 pre-season flags.
Long again. Off to Thompson. Ola Renshaw in the middle. They continue to run after a hectic campaign in September. It was Carlton who had the week's rest, but you wouldn't know it looking at this Bomber machine at present. Shaw. A high kick over the middle once more. Kernahan was his target. Fletcher's hand pass is high. Danaher tried to tap it on, taken by Athorn, off to Williams, and now Madden. Harry Madden's floater. Oh! Buick was the flyer, but that was all. Couldn't hold the football.
19-12, 126. Carlton left lamenting. 11-8-74 boundary throw in. Right forward pocket for the Blues. Kernahan has kicked 7 goals. He's got the football. Can't quite get an effective kick to it. Buick may let it roll through. No, Silvani striving. Alvin, a chance. Ordinary kick. Slews off the side of his boot. Wanganeen will run all the way with this. Hogg doing the chasing. Wanganeen, one of the most confident and competent young players in the game. And his kick will find touch. Yes. Another brilliant passage of play by one of the superstars of the game, Gavin Wanganeen. And the Bomber fans are pretty happy with that. Centre wing boundary throw in. Madden up against Mercedes. Ball spills for Athorn. Handball. McKay bombs away. Centre half forward. Kernahan's got it again. Well, it sounds a bit repetitive, but gee whiz, Stephen Kernahan has just been quite magnificent for Carlton.
Reminds me, Robbo, Dermot Brereton's performance in a losing Hawthorn side, ironically, against Essendon.
Yes, Sandy. And I think everybody looking at this game thought that that was Carlton's biggest problem, that they really only had one regular goal scorer, Kernahan, and he goes for his 8th goal. It's a good kick, just fades away through for his 4th behind.
Well, I guess their only other possible one, Brent Hoover, has been a little bit quiet as we have a look at the enormity of the Great Southern Stand. Absolutely chock-a-block. Capacity of around 50,000 and not a spare seat in the house.
Grenvold, yes, as we said, almost 97,000 fans in attendance today. Ola Renshaw gave away a free kick. You'll have to stop, Ricky.
Wasn't he magnificent in the first quarter? Set up this victory for Essendon.
But it's been a wonderful team performance. Scholl up to half forward. Socket clear towards Buick, who in turn has another one. Now he's opened it up a bit for Harvey. Long making position. Harvey has a bounce just to wait for Long. For him to run down. Hannah's giving chase. This will be interesting. Oh, it's clever the way he tapped it back. Picked up the free kick. It's just fantastic to watch.
I think he's promised plenty over his career, Michael Long, and he's certainly delivered now, hasn't he, Jared?
Well, he started this season in sensational form, particularly in the Foster's Cup, but then he was suspended in 3 consecutive games, which really did destroy the better bulk of his year. But come the finals, he has almost been the star of the final series. And who can forget his unbelievable burst out of the centre against the Crows last week to turn around what was a 42-point deficit at half-time for a memorable victory.
And put the Bombers into the grand final.
Throw in again. Madden locks arms. Oh, it was going to be a free kick to Essendon. The advantage is paid. Harvey for goal. One behind. Just over 9 minutes remaining. 9 minutes before the celebrations begin at Windy Hill. Around the world for Essendon supporters. Spalding. It's the hand pass away. Sexton from the back pocket. Goes up towards the centre wing. Welsh was there. That was his target. Mackay. Well, he's had a wonderful year, this young South Australian. Now it's Gleeson, and he's not going to taste Premiership success today. Bradley Williams can give it away to Aythorne going past, but elects to take the kick himself and has kicked the goal. He's tried his heart out. And he gets his first goal for the day. 12-9, plays 19-13.
Yes, it's been a tough day for the machine, the engine room for Carlton. Greg Williams just went to go solo on that occasion. He's given out plenty of handballs in his career. He thought he'd have a shot at that one and did it quite well.
(19-13) plays 12-9, 8.5 minutes left. Madden still trying, but away goes Long. I wouldn't be at all surprised if he wins the Norm Smith medal, Michael Long. He has been sensational and finished brilliantly in this last quarter. Aythorne, he's kicking towards half forward. And another player who would figure prominently would be Stephen Kernahan in Norm Smith medal voting. It's kicking towards centre half forward. No mark. Hogg's got it. Handball away. Heaver off the left foot. Brett Heaver gets a late goal for the Blues. For a man who kicked about 40 goals for Carlton, nearly 50 goals, I think, for the year. That's his first goal in the last 7 3/4 minutes of the grand final.
Yes, he's been a regular goal kicker for them during the finals, but well done to Matthew Hogg there that set up Heaver. He's been a winner on the day, has controlled Buick, got the ball nicely to Heaver, who snapped truly around the corner, but too little, too late for Carlton.
127, plays 87. 40 points the margin. And Madden down towards half forward. Thompson is there. The Essendon skipper has been like a rock all day, giving it to Grenville. Into the shadows of the stand and over the line. Mackay, country boy, son of a farmer, now a wool buyer.
Where from?
Lucendale in the southeast of South Australia. Played in the grand final in his first year in the AFL, but not a flag. Gleeson, look at Long. This man is like a piece of elastic.
We're yet to see the best of this player.
Well, heaven help us when we do.
You would think that when he gets his act together in the consistency stakes that there's a Brownlow medal beckoning.
I might have voted too early, I think, Jared.
Along towards centre wing. Watson, clever tap to Hurd. Still a master is Tim Watson. And there's another one by the young one. Joe Mercedes off to Ricky Olorenshaw. Kicks into the sunshine. Clean bowls Madden. With him is Spalding. Salmon does a bit of a lean. Now this will test his goal-kicking prowess. Perhaps a little ambitious. Out of bounds on the full. Today, Pratt brings it back into play and finds Gleeson tucked in the back pocket.
Yes, Gleeson will run outside 50 metres. 2 bounces. Nearly up to the wing. Forced to kick with the left foot. Good mark taken by Justin Madden. Handballs away to Alvin. Alvin gets past Chris Danaher. Handball to Hogg, who slips over. Well tackled by Mercury. Alvin brilliantly tackled by Chris Danaher. Michael Long and Hannah. In chips Aythorne. His kick across his body. Bounces into the square. Bradley got rid of by Calthorpe. And Harvey quite content to give away a behind. A rushed one at that to the Blues. And Mark Harvey's been a bit of an unsung hero today. he came into the game with a big cloud over him, and he's had 20 possessions, and kicked a goal.
Yes, many thought he might take his place because of a heel injury, but he's done well. Thompson. Been a fine skipper too, we mustn't forget that. And O'Donnell has been sensational. 27 possessions for him. Game of possessions now, as Fletcher has it. Just on 5 minutes remaining. What a performance by Kevin Sheedy. Tasting back-to-back success in 84 and 85. It's been a bit of a wait, but I'm sure it's been worth it. And he thought he may leave the club, Gerard, a couple of years ago to head north to Sydney. The carrot was dangled.
But he neglected to go. But what about this chap? After the final celebration, he'll have to put his head down for VCE studies. There wouldn't be too many footballers that could say that.
No, for our international viewers that's studying for school exams, the young giant has a great future ahead of him. Buick has a free kick. On the defensive side of centre wing, he goes wide to Watson. Is it the last time we'll see Tim Watson in game number 298? But what a career it's been.
Right half forward for Essendon. There's Timmy Watson, who will be hanging a Premiership medal around his neck. So will this young man, along with the Brownlow medal. Wanganeen. Ordinary kick. Get back to the back line, Gavin. I don't think he'd be too worried. Spalding to kick it back in for the Blues. Goes to the 50-metre line. Gleeson takes the mark. Welsh is in his way. Handball away to Ratton. A lot of Carlton players. Very, very ordinary stats. Madden has taken the mark on centre wing. He's battled manfully. 30 hit-outs and 15 possessions. That kick short. Ratton taken away by Calthorpe. On hands and knees. He got it away to Mercedes. Mercedes has a good look up the field and passes it off. Salmon. Handball over his shoulder. Fairly well ineffective. Hannah picks it off. Spalding is going to get caught. Earl must have thought he was on for Sunday afternoon picnic. Gathered by Heaver in the centre of the ground. Heaver goes and kicks quite well in the finish. The mark is taken by Gleeson. 3 minutes left. And the Blues a chance to just add another goal to their score. They've kicked 13-10, and all throughout the year, the questions were asked about whether the Blues could kick a big score. And it's really hit home this afternoon. Gleeson shot for goal. Misses to the left-hand side. That's his first score, just one behind. 13-11, 19-13. A big win coming up for Essendon. Harvey goes in short. And the mark is taken by Calthorpe. Williams on the mark.
This monster crowd standing by to celebrate. They know there's not long to go now.
This win was certainly set up in the first quarter for Essendon. Since then, Carlton's added 81 points. Essendon have still outscored them, adding 89.
The Bombers finished 8th last year as their rebuilding program virtually commenced. And I don't think many thought it would bring these sort of results so quickly. But it has. It's just been the sort of year a coach dreams of and the club dreams of. O'Donnell in the thick of things again, so too is Thompson up towards the half-back line. That was Joe Mercedes, couldn't take it. Now it's high towards Kernahan, couldn't take it. Williams from behind. Back to Kernahan from a standing start. He pumps it wide, too wide, and out of bounds on the foot. Been a great try, Sticks. He can hold his head high. There's the Carlton hierarchy. McClure, Gallagher, Parkin and co.
Well, David Parkin borrowed a memo from his old mentor, John Kennedy, which set up the theme for the week for Carlton, and it read, "It's later than you think. Fill the pages of your glorious youth, for the pages are very quickly turned." But unfortunately for him, it's been the Essendon youth that have dominated and filled the pages.
Grenville gives it to Danaher. Look at Long. Sheer excitement. Off to Mercury. Long again. Is this man the best man on the ground? I ask you. To half forward, Wanganeen. He had a shot at goal minutes ago. Is long down behind play.
He's just resting.
Exhaustion. Sheer exhaustion. There's less than 30 seconds to go.
This is fitting, isn't it?
This is very fitting, Robbo. The Brownlow medalist. He won the Michael Tuck medal for being the champion player in the night series at the start of the year. And now he wants to cap it off with a goal. And he has. He has. That may be it. .133, plays 89. We'll have a bounce, but that's all we'll have. Kevin Sheedy has done it again for the Bombers. There's the bounce, Somerville, and there's the siren. Victory for the Bombers. A wonderful performance. Tim Watson, father of the year. He can't believe it. This was his 298th game, probably his last, and he's gone out on the highest possible note. Kevin Sheedy, no coat to wave around his head today. He doesn't need it. He stands tall. Here's Bernie with the grand old man of Bomberland.
You're the grand old man of Bomberland, Tim. How's it feel? Is this one better than any of the others?
I think it's just a fantastic effort. I mean, so many people at the start of the year, including probably the Essendon people, didn't know that we'd be this good. And I think we're the best team of the year, and we proved it today.
Oh, you certainly did. Now, Tim, you could have been sitting on the boundary line watching with me again this year. Is it better out there or what?
I haven't missed you.